Today, we're talking about 2002's Western Conference Finals, Game 6.
We're not just diving in for where we left off with Rob. Or is this a two-parter?
This is a two-part, but released as one. One whole cohesive episode.
So this is part 2 of the two-parter.
This is.
Oh, okay. Sorry. RJ's with the program now. Well, welcome back to the Backseat Critics. My name's RJ.
My name's Andrew. This is a podcast where we review things that you should or should not steer clear of. And today, you know what? I got a feeling in the air.
Reaching into the back.
I got the feeling in the air. My hair on the back of my neck, my 6-foot neck is standing on end. And I'm like, the NBA Finals are coming up. And they're coming up hot.
Oh, they're already happening. By the time that this is released,
and I know,
we're gonna be.
Deep down in my heart that the Chicago Hornets are going to take this win.
It's Mavericks and Celtics right now. So the question is, do you want to root for Tay?
God bless you, Seattle Dolphins.
The Seattle Dolphins, huh? Okay. We're really getting into it now. For those who don't know, Andrew doesn't know basketball. This is actually one of his first basketball. Not his very first.
No, definitely not my first viewing of a basketball game.
But
absolutely not.
A good understanding or a good attempt at understanding it. I think one of your first good attempts, not your very first attempt, but your very good first attempt at
this was an eye opener.
This is an eye opener to how the game should not be called sometimes.
Yeah. Sorry. Got a little Timothy Donahue in my throat.
Oh, little Tim Donahue. Gotcha.
Anyways, where would you like to jump off on this?
Let's just go right into it. So we're going to pick off specifically in the fourth quarter.
Okay.
That's where we're going to kick off.
Okay.
That's where we watch where most of the calls were controversial, that they like to say, during that time period. And the first thing that we see...
I'm going to be completely honest here.
Yeah.
Let's discuss more of the actions. Let's drop the names. I'm not going to know the names.
Okay, first call... you see a call of a guy who gets called for an illegal screen.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that? What do you think?
Out of the other calls that we saw, that didn't feel like the worst.
No, I don't feel like that was the worst either.
So it was so tame. It was.
You could kind of make the argument.
You can make the argument either way, and that's why I'm saying it's tame. There's the ones later on that definitely, as someone who doesn't watch basketball, you know.
So
that's bad.
The next call is you said no names, but
I mean you can drop names.
Shaq.
Okay.
Shaq gets...
Who's Shaq?
Probably one of the greatest basketball players of all time.
What?
Yeah, and he is Kazam.
Okay, let's back up here. Let's beep beep beep.
Back up that truck.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Shaq is the best basketball player of all time?
No. Do not gaslight me here, sir. I said he is one of the best of all time.
Beep, beep, beep. You said best.
I said one of the best. Review the footage. Review the audio.
All right.
One of the best of all time.
All right. So why do you think Steph Curry is the best basketball player of all time?
I have never said that either. That's a bad gaslight too.
Why was he the best point guard
of all time?
Of all time.
I might agree with that statement, actually.
Andrew's got good takes.
But
Shaq,
I have a hotter take for that one. But anyways, Shaq.
Go for it.
I think a hotter take for that.
Yeah.
Steve Nash.
Oh.
Not a lot of people would say that.
It's 10 years earlier?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
When Steve Nash was in his prime, I just think he
was... Are you saying that because he kind of paved the way kind of thing?
No, not at all. I just think there was a point where he accounted for like 80 to 90 points for his team.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
Every night he accounted for, I think, about 50 points for his team, almost close.
Okay.
So I just think he was just a great team player in his prime. Nash was great. It's sad that him and Dirk couldn't have a longer run together.
Dirk Jeter?
Dirk Nowitzki.
So close.
No,
so close.
Not the Yankee Clipper here.
All right. Second call, Shaq.
Shaq, yes. Scott Pollard goes straight up and down trying to block a shot, or what people think was straight up and down at the time. He put both his hands up and just kind of jumped up, right? But if you look closely...
Shaq throws that right at his face, right?
No, he does a little pelvic, a little bump, bump. His pelvic region does go forward compared to his hands. So, in reality, it is a foul. But we're playing playoff basketball and it's ticky-tacky foul, and usually we don't get those types of calls in playoff basketball. So
really? So is playoff basketball a little bit looser than like just normal run of the
a
mill?
little bit more physical.
Gotcha.
More physical.
Interesting.
Yep. So
we saw a lot of that.
Yeah.
So was the next call the one where he makes contact with the guy's face? Not the punch.
Oh, you're talking about the Kobe Bryant flying elbow.
Yeah, no, we're saving that one. No, where he like threw the ball and it like hit the guy.
I don't remember this one.
It was like he was going, I forget if he was going up or rebounding the ball, and there's somebody right there, and he threw it and like it just straight on hit them. When there's like a clear shot around them.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean,
I remember that being. Maybe I'm conflating that.
That could be fun.
Correct me, fact checkers.
He did the off the heezy.
I remember that, and I remember that being called and being like, that's weird. I could see that being a oops, I made a bad throw.
You know, I kind of wonder too in these games is, I mean, I used to ref basketball, right?
Brag.
Sometimes I'd run and I'd get a little winded, and I would sound my whistle from having the whistle in my mouth. To accidentally blow, and
you gotta pretend like you saw something.
Gotta pretend like you saw something at that point. I kind of wonder if that happens in this game, maybe.
Yeah.
Or how much happens in the NBA.
That's a good question.
Because I saw, in my career, a couple of times I was honest and say, "Oh, sorry, breathe a little hard, ball on the side, get the game going again." Other times though, I was just like, "That guy fouled him." No, like what?
Wait. What's the ratio here?
What's the ratio from being honest to?
Yeah.
I'd say honesty was probably about 70% of the time, 30% of the time making a weird call.
All right, audience, flip those numbers. He's lying.
I'm not lying, but I'll tell you what. Usually when that 30% came in is because some kid pissed me off in that game. And we're just going to use around somebody.
The funny thing is you're talking about preschoolers.
Oh, no. I'm talking about at least junior high.
Man, way to kill that joke. You just killed that.
Sometime high school.
You just walked that joke up to the curb and just...
No, so actually, I refed, I think it was second and third graders one time. Or no, first and second graders.
Okay.
They don't call anything. I was told not to call anything except for like out of bounds, maybe a vicious foul. I was like, okay. So I refed with like at the time the person that was in charge of reffing.
Do first, second graders, do they play dirty?
They started to. So I refed it with the guy who was in charge of reffing one game.
I love this.
Everything went okay. The next game though, they realized we're not calling anything, and they started playing dirty. So much so that the guy that was in charge of another league came onto the court and started yelling at me. And I was just like, hey, man, this is what I was told. Let's just say technicals flew in first and second graders.
Wow. Third?
First and second.
Okay. I thought you said first, second, third graders.
No, I don't think it was third graders. I think it was first and second graders. I think it's third, fourth. So it was first, second graders.
Okay.
Yep. So technicals flew.
Ow.
Yeah. Good history there.
What came after this? The Shaq.
I think there was some cheesy fouls on Vlade Divac, if I remember, and I disagree with this one where he dove for the ball, and they called it on him because he grabbed the ball. There's a foul before that play that made, I believe it was Robert Horry that fell to the ground, and he had the ball, and Vlade Divac dove for the ball too, and they called it on Vlade, and I was just like, that one was bad. That was a bad call. I don't think there was any call for Vlade. I think it was the foul before that should have been called if we're going to call anything.
Okay.
But in reality, they were paving the way for Shaq in this game, basically.
To kind of become the next kind of MVP type guy?
No, I mean, Shaq was already an MVP type player in this game or in this series. I think that they were paving the way for Shaq to not have any competition so he could just dominate the rest of the game.
Gotcha. Even with Kobe out there.
Even with Kobe out there. Because in reality, you had, I believe his name was Tony Massenberg or something I believe that was the name. One of those bench players that just sit there, that maybe doesn't play, maybe gets like 5 minutes, 10 minutes a game, maybe. And they had to put him on Shaq to try to stop Shaq because all their big men were getting fouled out in this game.
That's insane.
Or getting in foul trouble. And they tried to put Chris Webber on him for a little bit. Chris Webber, one of the big men. But he started getting foul trouble. And so they're like, we actually need Chris Webber on the court. So we can't necessarily allow him to continue.
At what point are you not able to play because all your players are being fouled out?
Oh, you can actually play with one player on the court. And that has happened. You can play with
just one.
Yeah, you can play with one. You can play with two. You can play with three.
That's fantastic.
You take a technical and you play. Like after a player fouls out, 6 fouls, and you don't have another player to come in off the bench, you take a technical, and then they continue to play.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
What's the next foul?
I think we're just gonna go into the Kobe Bryant one.
Oh, the punch.
The punch.
This dude went Super Saiyan.
Yeah, I think that would be probably. There's other little fouls in here, but that was definitely the one that's gonna be most memorable in all of this.
My guy saw Rocky and was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do that." Straight up, just decks this dude.
Right, Mike Bibby.
Right across the face. Mike was obviously mad.
Bloody nose.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike Bibby. He's a great player, too. Good player, but it was kind of shocking to see that, like, as a ref, you know.
And then you don't call that.
Yeah, it was right in front of the ref, too. There's no way you, as a ref, like, there's 2 refs, I think.
It was clear as day.
Yeah. That he just.
And Mike Bibby's on the side, dabbing his face with like an old white jersey. And you can see from the cameras, like there's blood coming away.
I kind of wonder. There's certain points in basketball where you kind of know, like, okay, these refs aren't calling this. Let's get dirty. You know?
Yeah. So why didn't Bibby's team
get dirty?
Yeah,
because they're getting the calls out against them, and so that kind of makes you wonder. Okay, what the heck? If I'm Bibby, I would have. I don't know. In today's NBA, I don't know how that would fly. But
we're going to go to a little classic Backseat Critics segment here.
Oh, what are we going to go with?
If you could replace
any player with another player in this game?
Yeah.
All right. Am I going?
You can go fictional if you want. You can say like Bugs Bunny for all I care.
Okay.
Like, you know, we're just opening this up because I don't know my basketball players.
I'm gonna pull us back just a little bit.
Like I could throw out like Jordan or LeBron, but obviously like everyone knows LeBron's better. So like, why wouldn't I pick him?
Of course,
we'd always pick the LeBron.
Always pick LeBron. I would really want to go back though, really quick. I'm gonna pull it back a hot second here. Instead of who would we replace? Who would we replace on the Kings so that they would win the game?
Oh, you know what? I had such a great answer for mine, and then you just like nixed that.
Nix that. Okay.
Because I'll be honest, I was going to say, let's replace Tim Donaghy with my man Stevie Wonder, because he would see these fouls coming and call them.
Have you heard like people think that Stevie Wonder is actually not blind?
No.
There's like theories out there about things about it. It's
People are wild.
Even with Shaq. Shaq's like, this guy's not blind. Like, Shaq got into an elevator one time, didn't say a word or anything. Stevie Wonder just knew it was Shaq. And he was just like, how does he know it's me? So you're saying Stevie Wonder for Tim Donaghy?
I'm saying Stevie Wonder, because he could see those calls and he can make those calls a lot better.
Okay. If I'm gonna try to replace it with just a basketball movie character, that's what I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna go with, my brain keeps going back to Jesus Shuttleworth.
Okay.
From He Got Game.
Okay.
And so I'll just go with that.
That's fair.
Played by Ray Allen.
But you said for just the Kings.
Just the Kings.
What?
I'll replace Doug Christie.
With who?
With Jesus Shuttleworth, I guess. The same position.
Oh man, I wish I knew some basketball players or movies. Okay,
wait. Here's a good question for you, actually. Let's go with this. Ready for this one?
Kobe with Foghorn Leghorn.
If you had to choose coaches for each team, who's coaching?
Who's coaching?
Who's coaching? Doesn't even be, and you know what? Can't be a real coach. It's got to be an actor, a movie actor.
It's got to be like
a movie actor.
Wait. So if I say Bill Murray, or am I saying like, what is his name? Peter Venkman from Ghostbusters. Which one is it? The character or the actor?
Let's go with the characters.
Okay.
Let's go with the characters. It can't be from a sports movie.
Okay.
We're taking out all the sports movie characters.
Whew.
Yep.
Cool. I got Slapshots, The Hustler, and Space Jam out of my head.
Taking all that out. What you got?
Oh man. For the coaches. You know what? Why don't you go first?
We're gonna put it back on me.
I am. I want some time to think about this.
Okay. I want Vince Vaughn from
Wedding Crashers?
No, from The Internship.
Okay.
I want him in there. Owen Wilson will be his assistant coach, and he can be a Lakers coach. I'm just going to say that right now. He'll be the Lakers coach.
Okay.
On the other side, who I want is Shrek.
Shout out to our next episode.
And Donkey.
Shout out to our next episode.
And let's see who comes out.
I'm going to be honest. Shrek. He's fighting dirty.
All right, who do you? Let's go.
Let's go. Man. You know what? I'm going
Chunk from the Goonies.
No. I'm going a little bit darker than that.
Okay.
Anthony Hopkins is Hannibal Lecter.
Okay. Really kill the opponent and more. And
that is going to be the Lakers.
Okay.
Bloodsuckers. So kind of fits. Who am I going to pick as what's the other team? Sacramento Kings? Sacramento. My man
Borat.
Pee Wee Herman.
Pee Wee Herman for Sacramento Kings. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's the pair. You're never not going to be entertained, and I don't think either one of them would know how to play basketball. That is the best pick.
You know what? I think
Fight me on that.
Pee Wee Herman would luck his way into it. Based off his movies, he'd luck his way into it. Go, or whatever his voice is.
Yeah.
Whatever. I can't remember. I gotta hear it again.
Oh no!
Yeah, that'd be kind of a fun matchup, I guess. Yeah.
Final thoughts.
Going back on this game, I don't think it was as poorly reffed as I remembered back in the day. Because growing up, I was rooting for the Lakers, but I do think that it was definitely still a poorly reffed game. I don't think it is as going back. It's not as atrocious. I did like seeing the old basketball game itself.
It feels different. It's got like a different vibe.
It does. It felt more energetic, more better. It was a better atmosphere, in my opinion, compared to what you get nowadays, and more competitive. Like you can see, there's a lot more competitiveness in the game.
It felt like more drive.
Mm-hmm.
Like just in the way they played.
Yeah, there was definitely more. You got more out of it as a viewer.
For sure, yeah.
Even the commentary, I felt like you got more out of it. And because of that...
The music.
Dude, we didn't even touch on the music.
The music!
Have you ever seen that guy, like...
Sorry, headphone listeners.
Have you ever seen that guy, like, he was at a concert one time, and he just goes... Like this, like with his fingers. You can't see, I know, but I'm just like flicking my wrist back and forth right now, right?
Right.
And he's doing that. And he goes over to the piano and like people start playing it. And he goes, no.
No.
Have you ever seen that?
No.
Yeah, it's that guy. He does. Oh, it's awesome. Music, best of.
Music is. Whoever wrote that went too hard.
There's talks about bringing that back.
Good.
There's talks about bringing it back. But
good.
I mean, I'd give it based off of basketball watching a 9. A 9, just because it gets your blood pumping. Just not from a movie standpoint, from a basketball standpoint. 9.
Yeah. So my final thoughts. I think this is okay for really any age to watch.
You should definitely show kids to teach them basketball. Actually,
this is what you don't do, kids. Yeah. Like I don't think there's really any age restrictions that we can put on this.
No.
You can show a child this. You could show a 99. Oh, granted, if a 99-year-old basketball fan saw this, they might die.
It's just your face. They might die. Or actually, even like more sincere. Like you're smiling, and they might die. And then went away from the sincerity of your face, but it's okay.
That they're going to die.
No, your sincerity about it. But
so as a non-basketball watcher, someone who's trying to get into just kind of following the sport, I'm going to give it an 8. I'm going to give it an 8.
That's a solid score.
It was not nearly as egregious as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Going back and looking at it, not as much.
The punch, the screen, and maybe one other thing were like kind of
the dive on the floor.
Yeah.
The dive on the floor was bad.
There was a lot of like questionable calls that I could see argued either way. If this is the worst called game, they're doing a pretty good job at calling games.
Yeah.
Granted, what they missed here was bad. It just wasn't as bad as I thought. Totally entertaining.
Yeah.
Totally entertaining. The players, fantastic. Fun. It's from an era from when I was growing up. From when you were growing up.
Oh, yeah. I watched it live. I remember.
Yeah. It's super nostalgic.
Rooting.
I don't know. It's scratched that itch. I don't have a lot of other basketball games to kind of base this off of. I'm giving it an 8.
A solid score.
Yeah. Would watch again.
2 solid teams.
All right. If you want to find us, if you want to listen to more of our stuff, we usually review movies. You can listen to our stuff wherever you get podcasts. Whether that's Spotify, whether that's no longer Google Music, but it's YouTube Music, or Apple Podcasts, or Pocket Casts, or Pandora for you 5 listeners. We appreciate you.
We appreciate it.
You can just look us up at the Backseat Critics. We're also on YouTube. No videos there yet, but we're working on it. And, until next time.
We out.